coming on to talk about sports and more specifically MLB from CBS Sports. He covers the MLB, Danny Vietti.
Somebody's going to beat the Cleveland Browns this year. Is it going to be another opponent, or is it going to be the Cleveland Browns? That's their storyline, and the season will answer that story.
Well, my prediction preseason, because we always have to do that at ESPN, give us your predictions, make us look like idiots, was Astros and Nationals, with the Astros winning. Given the fact that both those teams still look like they're in the mix for that eventuality, I'm going to stick with that, Astros and Nationals, with Astros winning.
Play action. He's going to take himself around the left, big hole 40, 35, 30, cuts it upfield, spin move 20. Action Jackson 10, and dancing into the end zone. Touchdown Ravens. Halftime launching it down the middle of the field, called at the 20. Sammy Watkins 10, walking into the end zone, and the Chiefs are going to be going to Miami. What's going on, Sportscaster, YouTube, and beyond? Thanks for watching this video. I'm Yosef Masinter, and I hope you're having a great day as I welcome you into episode 11 of the Ravens vs. Browns Week 14 Deep Dive, where I go through every play of that game, talk about what happened, why it happened, should it have happened, who messed up, who excelled, and a whole lot more. This was absolutely the best game of the regular season. I mean, really going back, I think the next game that was comparable to this one, I would go and say Rams-Chiefs Monday night, that thriller. That was a really fun one as well a couple of years ago. Well, this one was a very close rival to it. A whole lot of points, a whole lot of fun, playoff implications, stars making big-time plays making stars, and of course, a dramatic Hollywood ending. But before we get to the film, please check out my podcast, Sports with Yosef. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. That's Sports with Yosef. Check out all of the episodes there, as well as checking out the rest of this series on Sportscaster or YouTube, whichever you prefer. sportscastr.com, username YosefM613. Check out the rest of my content on Sportscaster. Check out all of my articles for Tackler, Flurry Sports, Rocky and Meisty, and Sportscaster News. A whole bunch of great sites there, a whole bunch of great articles for you to check out. And if you're having trouble keeping track of the sites, because I know I am, well, I made it easy for you by creating a website, yosefm613.com, YOSEFM613, where it has, my website has all my articles, all my podcasts, a whole bunch of my videos, including this video series, as well as a way for you to subscribe and get email updates every time I post new content. It's right there on the homepage. You have no excuse to not take advantage. So go do so, go subscribe to get those email updates, as well as giving me a follow on Twitter at YosefM613. All right, so the Browns and the Ravens, well, Ravens first, but they went 3 and out. Browns went an extended 3 and out. There was a penalty, so it was really 4 plays, but they did not get a first down, so technically still 3 and outs. And now the Ravens get the ball back with 61 seconds to go in 14 apiece. Let's head to Cleveland, where Lamar Jackson takes over at his own 44-yard line. Shotgun formation, spreading it out here. You know they want to throw the ball, and that's what they're going to do on first down. As quick pass to the left, incomplete. Hollywood Brown to target. And that will put the Ravens into second down and 10. Dobbins to the left of Jackson. Shotgun formation. DJ Fluker instead of Tyree Phillips. Pass to the outside. Incomplete. Let's take a look. All right, right off the bat. 1 running back, 1 tight end. The tight end Andrews, the running back Dobbins. 3 wide receivers. So that's 11 personnel. And the Browns in the nickel defense. Let's take a look at when Lamar wants to throw this ball, right? Well, first off, Lamar's holds this ball for a decent amount of time in the pocket. Goes through his bunch of progressions. Let's see if we can get. Okay, so here's what these routes are. Number 1, couple of comebackers. Andrews, he's just going to bend across the middle, and it looks like he's just going to try to get down the field. Now, when Lamar releases this ball, right over, trying to see, it looks like right here. Okay, who's open? Andrews is open. I'll be honest, Snead's open. You put that ball right there. That's a big play. Boykin's open. You see how he's got more room to work with than his defender. So Lamar, if he makes a good throw, he's open. And Hollywood's open as well. Every player is open. Dobbins is not open. But everyone else is. So let's go through Lamar Jackson's progressions here. He's got everyone open, but so who does he choose to throw to? He's initially looking for Mark Andrews. Now, why? Right here looking at Mark Andrews, and we'll go to, it's about right here where he looks away. The reason Lamar looks away, and he looks away about right here, is because Carl Joseph has the angle on the inside. This play is going to develop. It's Mark Andrews is meant to keep on going like this, and number 42, the safety, Carl Joseph, he's got a better angle. So Lamar's looking away there. Good recognition there. Happens to be Andrews just beats him. So it didn't end up. But that's not something you're counting on if you're a quarterback. The next place Lamar's going to look, after a long look at Andrews, he goes right to Hollywood Brown. So my gut would be that it was, if you remember, it was comeback, deep ball, crosser. It was 1, 2, 3, and then you had a check down here, so I'll put 4 on Dobbins. That's probably the way this was designed to work. And Lamar's does it, so it's tough to tell in this angle what the throw's like. So if you take a look though right here, the throw looks like it's just a little bit high. And that's what it was. The throw was a little bit, he did a good job. He threw it to the sideline so that Hollywood would be able to just step out of bounds and stop the clock. But the throw is just a little bit high from Lamar Jackson. Would have been a 10-yard gain from Lamar. Makes just a little bit of a better throw. Who's in coverage? Let's see if we can get that. That is number 28, Kevin Johnson, in coverage for the Browns. Let's take a look at this because this is solid protection by the offensive line. Everyone's going to win here. Or at least that's what it looks like initially, because look at Orlando Brown versus Myles Garrett. Brown handles him. Actually, did he get a hit on Lamar Jackson? He kind of does after the play. I mean, take a quick look at Jackson's mechanics. Yeah, mechanics, he's not really able to step into the throw as much as he probably would like. Just a little bit of a bad, just released it a little bit too high there. All right, Bradley Bozeman working against Sheldon Richardson. That might be number 90, actually. And Bozeman just shuts him down. Let's see if we can actually get a number up, though. No, that's 98. All right, Larry Ogunjobi working on the right side. Richardson and Ogunjobi switched on this play. He's working against Patrick McCarry. McCarry's going to handle him. Ben Powers just standing there like, okay, there's no one coming. I'm just going to do my job here. And you can see DJ Fluker handling Olivier Vernon. Ben Powers helping out a little bit. This is just great blocking by the offensive line. Lamar had the time. He had the guys out. He saw his guy open. He makes a throw. A little bit of a bad throw. Comeback routes are tough. Their timing routes, the timing's good. The throw's a little bit high. And that will put the Ravens into a second down and 10 as we watch this play one more time. Everyone's going to get open. The Browns going just cover one here. Man across the board. 2 linebackers underneath because they're worried about Lamar Jackson running. Ravens 15 yards away from field goal range. This would have put them 5 yards away from a Justin Tucker field goal range. And obviously Justin Tucker field goal range is a little bit hard to quantify just because he could probably hit from 80 if he needed to. In reality not, but 70 is definitely something he does in practice. So a little bit tough to quantify that field goal range. Right now 44-yard lines. I said 15, so that would be 6, 9. That put it at 41, 51. I put it like a 58-yard try. Which, you might even be able to say 10 yards away. It really is tough to quantify with Justin Tucker. But here the Ravens go for their second play on this drive. 5 seconds came off the clock on that one. Lamar Jackson pretty much similar formation. 2 receivers this time to either side. Is Dobbins to his right. Pass again to Hollywood Brown. Again at the sideline, and again it's incomplete. Browns again just playing cover one. You see Andrew Sandeo in the middle of that field. We'll take another look there. This one is not Lamar Jackson's fault as much, I don't believe. We'll take a closer look though. Okay, so right off the bat, again, same coverage. 2, 3, 4. I think it's same coverage. Did I just put my foot in my mouth? Cover 1. It's not. It's absolutely not. It's not. This is zone coverage. Scratch that. Still cover 1 though. Only one deep guy, albeit the fun part about cover 1 is while you've got this guy deep, these guys on the corner can also drop back depending on where the receivers go. So it's tough to figure out exactly if it's cover 1 or cover 3 just because it is dependent on the routes. So man last play, this play it is zone. Mark Andrews, you'll see him lose his footing right here. Right over there, Mark Andrews. Let's take a look. Whoop. There you go. The turf getting someone again. These are all short routes. These are routes trying to get guys into field goal range. If you look, Hollywood Brown, speed out. Andrews out. Willie Steen kind of just sitting down there. And he's going to the sideline. A lot of just getting guys to the sideline, trying to get nice 8-10 yards. And get a drive going. Okay, once again, let's take a look at Lamar Jackson when he releases this ball. Right here, everyone's open. Lamar could have put the ball right there, right there, right there, or right there. Everyone is open. I'll be honest, this time Dobbins is open as well. A lot of options for Lamar Jackson. And because this is this soft coverage. The defenders, they don't want to play up. They're not going to play up. They're going to play back. They're going to play back. They don't want to be too close. They don't want someone to break it. They're willing to give up 6, 7, 8 yards. They're not willing to give up anything over the top. They're willing to give up the dinks and dunks. So everyone open here. And this is just a drop. If you take a look. Okay, so this throw, it's not deep enough, but it does go through both hands. Again, hard to see on the single. Maybe it's easier on this one. I doubt it, but it might be. Right, so Lamar Jackson needs to put it a little bit more up the field. This throw is just a little bit too shallow. Hollywood comes in for the ball. It goes through his hands, though. Hollywood had 6 drops on the season. A lot of them were outs and short passes. And it wasn't just for Lamar Jackson. It was from when Trace McSorley was quarterback. You'll see it later in the game. Not really. There was something wrong. It was a lot of drops by Hollywood Brown. And 6 drops, 6 too many. Okay. Let's take a look at the offensive line here because which is right here. Let's start on the right side. DJ Fluker versus Olivier Vernon. Fluker making sure Olivier Vernon doesn't really get to the outside, and he handles him. Now let's switch to Ben Powers right here. Powers, he's going against Sheldon Richardson. Richardson trying to bull rush, and look right. So he bull rushes him. What do I mean? Bull rushing is just when you try to run the guy over. Just try to use brute muscle and just try to push the guy through. Look at Sheldon Richardson versus Ben Powers. He's just gonna run him backwards. Lamar gets the ball out of his hands. Patrick McCarry and Bradley Bozeman working on Larry Ogunjobi. Bozeman not really doing much of anything. McCarry holding his own though. Only guy who really loses is going to be Orlando Brown here against Myles Garrett. As you see, all right, let's go through this. Why? Because Orlando Brown trying to get wide. He puts a hand on him, but at this point it's gone. Let's see if I can get the right frame here. Right here, he overextends. All Garrett's got to do is just hit his arm down, and then he's got a path to the quarterback just around the edge because look how much more outside he is. It's that easy for Myles Garrett. But it's really sad from Garrett. Good job by the offensive line. With that said, it's time for the next play. As you can see, these plays going really fast right here. Now we can get off it slow. As Jackson's shotgun, I'll take this look going immediately to Hollywood Brown. He would probably go to Mark Andrews next, followed by Snead and then Boykin. Or Snead likely and then check down. Everyone's open. Not a great throw. Should have been a catch though. And that'll put the Ravens in a 3rd down and 10. And this is a big play for the Ravens. You don't want to have to punt the ball back to the Browns here. Want to keep the drive going, want to get a field goal, want to be up at halftime. Jackson's going to take the snap here. Looking to throw, nothing there. Going left, no. Back to the right. Rolling out, firing down the sideline. Mark Andrews comes back for the ball. Stiff arms a defender and is going to get all the way down to the 17-yard line. 39 yards, catch and run. And this is a very underrated play. This play does not get enough recognition because what Lamar Jackson does on this play, unreal. Oh, stopped it too early. Good stiff arms there by Andrews, and we will break this play down. First up, 11 personnel. 1 running back, 1 tight end. Brown still in that nickel defense. Okay, so let's take a look at this right here. Lamar's got to start advocating the pocket. Who's open? Initially, Snead's wide open. I mean, look how much room Snead's got over there. Boykin's open. Hollywood, not really. I guess you could try to put a ball there. What I don't love about it is that the defender's closer to the sideline than Hollywood is. And Mark Andrews is wide open. But Lamar Jackson's under a lot of pressure because if you take a look at this view, looks like he wants to get. He looked at Boykin immediately. Boykin's not looking at him. He next goes to Snead. He's about to get rid of the ball, and then oh no, I don't have time, do I? Actually, he does. This is a mistake by Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson, he's feeling the pressure just a little bit. I do think that he does have just enough time. He's going to take a hit, but I think he has enough time right here just to say, I can step into a throw and to Willie Snead. I mean, look how open he is. Lamar definitely sees him, but that's not what he'll choose to do, and here's why. Let's take a look at this play. Browns watch Sione Takitaki coming on a blitz, taking on J.K. Dobbins one-on-one, and initially Dobbins does a good job. Now, once Lamar starts to run, again, it's tough because once the direction of the runner has shifted, well, Takitaki's got the advantage because Dobbins doesn't know where to block. So Takitaki's going to get free here. So you got Takitaki, number 44, coming on the blitz. Love that name, by the way. Myles Garrett now working against Orlando Brown on this left side. And Myles Garrett's just going to win. Again, Orlando Brown tries to push him. Doesn't really do much of anything. And he's going to force Lamar Jackson to step up. At which point Orlando Brown's going to recover. If you take a look right away. Initially, Mark Andrews chipping Olivier Vernon. Again, zone coverage here from the Browns, as you can see. DJ Fluker is going to pick him up then. Ben Power's going to pick him up. And looks like Richardson right up the middle. Not getting much of anywhere. That's Ogunjobi up the middle. He's handled. But at this point right here, Lamar Jackson's going to escape right. He runs into Takitaki. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Dobbins still fighting on that block. At this point, he's going to run away from Myles Garrett and just sprints out. B.J. Goodson's going to come up. Olivier Vernon's going to come up. Lamar Jackson's got like 2 options right here. He's looking immediately at Hollywood Brown. As he looks at Hollywood Brown, it's too late. He's going to then switch. He's going to look from Hollywood Brown to Mark Andrews, who is open. Now, B.J. Goodson's coming up. Lamar knows he's going to take a hit on this one. And a better throw is probably a touchdown. If you look at this ball, Mark Andrews has this MJ Stewart in coverage. He's got to just come back to the ball, and it ends up working out. And then runs by stiff arms Andrew Sandejo. MJ Stewart, Terrence Mitchell trying to chase him down. It's going to be MJ Stewart who will get him in the end. A good play there a good recovery by Stewart. But if you look right when Lamar's throwing this ball, which is about right here, I'm telling you, if Lamar's got a little bit more on this and puts it right here, Mark Andrews to the house, 56 yards. Great adjustment, though, by Mark Andrews. Let's go back to the blocking scheme here, because you'll see Bradley Bozeman just standing around. He's going to quick help with Ogunjobi. I'll be honest, that's a mistake, because in reality, Bozeman's going to help out Sione Takitaki. It's help out J.K. Dobbins with Sione Takitaki. They're two guys just standing here. Bozeman is not, doing. Bozeman's got to help out with Takitaki. And I think the reason he doesn't is because the Browns faked blitz with Malcolm Smith and B.J. Goodson. And so my gut is that when Lamar's figuring out protection, it was like, okay, you're chipping, and then you're going here. Powers, Makari, Bozeman. Now, once this guy didn't come, once Smith doesn't come, Makari's going to go over here. Bozeman kind of stays here also, though, not realizing he doesn't come, at which point Takitaki is going, and it's Dobbins versus Takitaki. So, not the greatest way to do that. Ravens going to use their second timeout after this play. But just watch this play. What other quarterback in the league does this? He's got defenders in his face. He's going to run left, runs into defender, comes back to the right, still pulls this off, and makes it a 36-yard play. 39-yard play, excuse me. Lamar Jackson, a great play. You want to talk about him not being a passer? Look, the throw's not perfect, but look at this throw here. And this is definitely Lamar Jackson. I think this is Lamar Jackson realizing, look, I'm running straight to the sideline. I don't have the arm to throw this 50 yards down the field. So what am I going to do? I'm going to throw this to a soft spot. And he throws it right in that soft spot. Andrews adjusts to the ball and makes a big play. Let's watch it one more time. Just a great play. Here, this one does not get appreciated enough. Running around, making the magic happen. Lamar Jackson to his favorite target, Mark Andrews, all the way down inside the red zone to the 17-yard line. How do you like that for a third down conversion? Look, you can get free hits, Lamar Jackson. You can get guys in his face. You can. I still like Willie Snead over the middle. I really do. I think Lamar could have pulled that off, but didn't need to. And there, Andrews goes. Great run after catch by Andrews. And the Ravens got a first down and 10 in the red zone. Ball at the 17-yard line. You got 37 seconds to go until the half. Ravens one timeout remaining. Jackson shotgun. Dobbins to his left. Two receivers to either side. Jackson is going to look. Now he's going to take off and run. 20, 10, 5. And the fifth touchdown of this game is the fifth rushing touchdown of this game. Look at that celebration at the end. I'll go back to that momentarily. Lamar Jackson taking off and running. Man cover. Looks like man coverage. All that open space he's in. But watch right here. Lamar's going to spike it into the wall, catch the spike, and then kick it. How do you like that for a touchdown celebration? Take a look one more time at this side. Jackson in the open field at this point. Oh, do we get another view of this quickly? I let it go too long. Jackson does his job. There's a penalty, as you can see here, on Terrence Mitchell, which was declined. But before we get to that, let's talk about what's going on here. Okay, so mesh concept out and post swing. Okay. Here's what's happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, here's what I really like about this. Number one, it's man coverage. Browns had gone zone, not really working. Lamar Jackson's receivers finding some soft spots in zones. They got lucky. Okay, so they're gonna go back to man in the red zone. Here's the issue: you're not watching Lamar Jackson. Lamar's going to initially look left. He's looking for Boykin right off the top. Normally, what you want here is outside leverage. Not this time. Lamar kind of has a shot at Boykin. It'd be a really, really tough throw, though. I mean, he's got a little bit of space. It's doable. But because the defender has the outside, normally you want to throw this back shoulder to like right there. But because the defender has the outside, you kind of got to throw it right there, and then you're dependent on the safety not coming over. That's why you don't really like that. That's why you don't really like Boykin. So after Jackson looks left, I mean, look at this mesh concept underneath. Andrews is really well covered. Dobbins is open. Andrews is open. Hollywood, he's definitely open as well. Jackson's just he's gonna take a look at Andrews. At this point, though, here's what he sees: man coverage. All the defenders went with the mesh to Willie Snead. The safety went to the deep route. So where else do you go but take off and run it in, almost untouched, for the score? All right, so let's take a look at this penalty here. It's Terrence Mitchell. He's covering Miles Boykin. We'll slow it. Actually, let's not slow it down. So you see the holding. That is the correct call. It's definitely tough to see here. But right there, there's definitely a jersey tug. So correct call there by the officiating crew. Okay, now to the backfield. What's going on here? How did the Browns let Lamar Jackson escape the pocket? Myles Garrett working against Orlando Brown. He's going to go low. He's going to try to bull rush initially. It works a little bit, but then dropping the anchor. Does Brown. Garrett's going to try to spin to the inside, at which point Lamar's vacated the pocket. So let's take a look at Ogunjobi working against Bradley Bozeman. Bozeman holding his own. Now, Patrick McCarry and Ben Powers kind of double teaming Sheldon Richardson right here. Nothing really is happening here. Now, Olivier Vernon does beat DJ Fluker around the edge. And that's going to right here. Look, great job by DJ Fluker by pushing Vernon to the outside, because that's going to create this massive opening. You see Willie Snead's open in front of Jackson, but what Jackson sees is all this green turf. All these running lanes, including a blocker, if necessary. And that's what. And look at Ben Powers just standing there. There's no one coming. It's pretty good protection here by the Ravens. And Lamar's just going to say, okay, at this point, I'm just going to cut up field. The defender's staying with Willie Snead. And Lamar Jackson's just going to be able to get all the way down the field. He tries to cut back. He can't do it. He's going to slip on the turf. The safety, Andrew Sandeo, is going to try to get over there in time. And he's going to kind of get Lamar. Lamar stays on his feet and gets in for 6. I mean, let's watch this one more time. Let's watch this at least one more time. We'll watch McCarry they force Sheldon Richardson left as well, and that just opens up that huge area for Lamar Jackson. Jackson, his second rushing touchdown. Okay, one more thing I do want to look at here. Look at Hollywood Brown one-on-one. Look how he's gonna just completely beat his man here, wide open. Hollywood's doing a great job getting open, not as much of a great job catching it, but you know what? You'll take what you can get, I guess. Not really, but like that's what they're not gonna have any other option. Let's watch it one last time. Lamar Jackson making the magic happen, back-to-back plays, starting it off with his. So 2 incompletions, a 39-yard pass play to Mark Andrews off a Lamar Jackson scramble, and then a 17-yard Lamar Jackson touchdown run, his second of the game, the 5th touchdown of this game, the 5th rushing touchdown of this game. And then the celebration for Lamar Jackson as he just puts his team on top with 30 seconds to go in the first half. Up 6, extra point pending. Here it comes. Morgan Cox, the long snapper. Sam Cook, the hold. Justin Tucker, the kick is up, and it is good. 4 plays, 56 yards, 31 seconds off the clock. Jackson, his athleticism was the key on this drive. Let's take a look at the pressure coming in on this extra point. Tucker, Tavier Thomas, a little bit around the left edge. Number 94, number 34, should say. That's Robert Jackson staying wide in case the Ravens fake it. And here come the Ravens to kick it off to the Browns. Browns get a chance here. Ravens, did they go too fast down the field? Can Cleveland respond? Well, here comes this kickoff. Dearness Johnson back for the Browns. Justin Tucker sending it deep for a touchback. Browns going to go out to the 25-yard line here. 30 seconds to work with. I believe 2 timeouts, if I remember correctly. And this is going to be... I mean, Browns have to score here because the Ravens got the ball to start the second half. And while you don't know if they're going to score then, you don't want to have the possibility of being down 2 scores before you get the ball to start in the second half. Like, really don't want that. You really want to get points here, even if it's just a field goal. But we'll see what the Browns can try to pull off here. As they're going to open up in the shotgun. Back to the right, it looks like that's Kareem Hunt. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Ravens showing all kinds of blitz with 6 at the line of scrimmage. Here comes the snap. They'll only bring 4. Pressure still gets there as the pass to the left is going to be caught. Rashard Higgins. A pickup of 18 yards. Marcus Peters on the stop, and that what a way to jumpstart a drive for Cleveland. Ravens showing all kinds of pressure. But Judon and looks like Board will back off. Pass will go to Higgins. And the Browns are in business. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on this play. So, from a route standpoint, come back, deep ball, kind of another deep ball, and Njoku's just going to come across here. And this is going to give Mayfield a whole bunch of options here. This is man coverage. 11 personnel, Ravens in the nickel defense. And watch Baker Mayfield. He's going to look over the middle. He's going to try to look off Chuck Clark. He's going to say, Clark, you can't go to his side yet. And you see Clark, and then Clark going with Njoku, where Mayfield looks like he's kind of looking at Njoku. Clark goes up to that, and that lets Rashard Higgins work one-on-one against Marcus Peters. Press coverage. Higgins gets inside release, fakes outside, comes back inside. Looks like he slips as he makes the catch, honestly. Yeah, so he slipped. It's going to be tough to tell here, but right here he's going to lose his footing. Recovers enough to make a diving catch. Great job there by Higgins. And good anticipation on this throw here, because when Mayfield throws the ball right here, he's not open. But he knows he will be. He trusts his receiver. This is a good job by Baker Mayfield. A veteran move there. Njoku was open. Excuse me. Harrison Bryant was kind of open here. Kinda. And Higgins was open. Kind of like this guy being open as well in the comeback. Ravens playing cover 2 here. So maybe I would say this is cover 1 hole, actually. Cover 1 hole. So you got a deep safety and then a short safety. That looks like what it is. Okay, let's go to the defensive line. Ravens showing 6. Judon and Board are going to drop. Let's work our way from defenses left to right. Bowser is going to try to get around Jack Conklin. Can't really do it. Conklin, he gives up ground, but he recovers nicely. So let's go to slow. Judon's going to drop, so I'll go even a little farther. Wyatt Teller waiting for Judon to come. He doesn't. Wolf and Campbell run this beautiful stunt here. Look at this. Campbell's going to crash in to his man. Wolf's going to be able to just now come free right up the middle. Campbell does this better than anyone. Not as good as anyone, I should really say. Campbell he's going to take his defender. Bitonio, he's going to take J.C. Treader. Wyatt Teller has no idea what's going on, at which point Derek Wolf's got a free shot at the quarterback coming up. Doesn't really get to take it because of the whole roughing the passer thing. Ngakwe lined up in this 9-tech spot. Look how wide he is outside the tight end. Not even lined up close to the tight end. He's lined out wide of the tight end. He's going to go around. Jedrick Wills backpedaling. What's going to happen here? Ngakwe, oops. I'm going to use a nice inside swim move. Come free again. Great job. But you'll see, I mean, you can watch Ngakwe and Wolf kind of collide here. They both get their shots at the quarterback. Actually, Bitonio does a nice job on the stunt. Number 75, look at Bitonio. He's going to get by. He's going to push Wolf to the outside and give Mayfield a bit of that throwing lane. great route by Rashard Higgins. We talked a little bit about that. So the interesting part, which I was interested by on this route by Higgins, is that he uses inside release. What do I mean inside release? Watch, he's going to get inside of Peters. Hold on, he's going to release to the inside of Marcus Peters, inside release. He's going to then fake to the outside and come back in. So it's kind of like, and the fake works well enough. Peters is going to go down to the ground, again, partially probably because of the turf. Higgins goes down to the ground partially because of the turf. You see both of them just go down. But Higgins does a great job fighting through that ball, fighting through it, and to get the catch. Let's watch it one last time. Cleveland's going to call their second timeout after this play. So they've got one remaining and 24 seconds to work with, ball on their own 43. Ravens showing blitz. Do not bring it. It's man coverage across the board. It's actually zone coverage across the board. Actually, I have trouble telling. No, and this is man. You saw Humphrey peel off at the end, but that's because the ball's out of his hand, which is why I was initially thinking it's zone. This is man coverage the whole way. Sometimes I outthink myself. Mayfield trying to figure out who's coming, who's not, who blocks who. What a stunt. Great swim move there by Ngakwe. And a great catch by Rashard Higgins. Marcus Peters right there. Here the Browns go on their next play. After the timeout, Mayfield looking right, left, going back left. Incomplete. Okay. A whole bunch of things happening here. Harrison Bryant, by the way, has been in for Njoku on this drive. Interesting, because the rookie tight end instead of David Njoku is a pretty good pass catcher himself. Interesting that the Browns have making that evaluation. Again, 11 personnel, 1 running back, Kareem Hunt, 1 tight end, Harrison Bryant, 3 wide receivers, Ravens in a nickel defense. And this pass is to Harrison Bryant. Okay, a whole bunch of things are going to be happening here. Let's take a look at the route concepts first. What do we got? Okay, some zone beaters and some man beaters. You got a start right here. You got a nice post. I don't really know what Higgins is doing. He's going to just kind of stop here. Looks like he's running a comeback. Let's double check that, though, because yeah, it's like 3 comebacks. He's coming back, except he's really coming back more like that way. So I'll erase that part. So there are a couple of pieces here right off the bat. A lot of guys are open, right? I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones beats Harris badly. It looks like Devontae Harris right there. Jarvis Landry is going to beat Marlon Humphrey. Harrison Bryant, it's actually pretty good coverage. Not a lot of room there, but that's where Mayfield goes with the ball. And you look at the post here. Look at the job Chuck Clark does to take away this post. He knows that's where Mayfield wants to go. That's where he was initially looking. And he's just taking it away. Mayfield does not have an opportunity to throw this ball to the post because Clark's going to go up and get it no matter really where he puts the ball. Here. There's nowhere for Baker Mayfield to put this ball in on the post to Rashard Higgins. So let's clear the screen. Look, just one more thing about Chuck Clark. He's going to start right here. He's going to end all the way back here. Because what the Ravens are doing is, here's what you initially think. You think that Deshaun Elliott is going to be playing this deep zone and Clark might be, oh, that's the wrong thing. And Clark might be coming in on a blitz or something. Instead, what the Ravens are going to do is he's going to be coming in and playing, Elliott, the guy who's starting deep, is going to come in and play a shorter zone. And Clark is going to get reach back and whatever. You're going to have to just excuse that and play back here. So Mayfield's not really 100% sure what's going on, tricking Mayfield a little bit. So that's just a nice twist there by Wink Martindale in coverage. All right, so Mayfield, look at this pocket. Why is he going to Harrison Bryant in front of Deshaun Elliott? Because actually, he's got a little bit of room here. The issue is Deshaun Elliott is all over this ball. And Mayfield, because right here, where Mayfield has to put the ball if he wants this to work, it's like right there. And let Bryant use his body to protect the ball. He doesn't. He pretty much puts the ball right, not completely on Harrison Bryant, but close to Harrison Bryant. Deshaun Elliott just not having any of it. Chris Board there to make. All right, so Chris Board's going to come on the blitz here. Ravens showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many do they bring? They will bring 4. Judon's going to drop. Bowser's going to drop. Clark is going to drop. And the Browns have no idea what's going to happen because they are not ready for this. Because look on this left side. Jack Conklin. He's going to get ready for Judon. Oh, no, Judon's not coming, is he? Hold on. All right, so let's take a look at Tyus Bowser. Why tell her he's ready? Oh, no, he's not coming either. So what's the next step? Derek Wolfe. He's lined up in the zero tech spot, right on top of J.C. Treader, the center. And Wolfe's just going to kind of just let himself be pushed left, just so that Mayfield can't. I'll tell you why he does this. He's going to let himself go. Oh, actually, I need to go just back a second. He's going to let himself go left just so that Mayfield can't get outside. So that's what Wolf's doing here. Now watch Chris Board. Ravens have got 3 guys coming on this side for 2 blockers, pretty much. Board and Campbell are going to run into the same guy, Joel Bitonio. And Board's going to do this so that Board's going to run in so that Campbell can loop around. This is a stunt down the field into the pocket. So nice twist there. And Kareem Hunt's going to actually get a block on Campbell. But Board's then going to be able to come free, and Board's going to put a hit on Baker Mayfield. And you'll see Yannick Ngakoue around that left side and against Jedrick Wills. He's just going to try to get wide on him, and he does. Wills is a rookie, and Ngakoue's been having a field day against him. And so definitely the hit by Board definitely probably influences this throw just a little bit. Okay, a couple more points here. So, one thing is, Cleveland's probably lucky this pass is incomplete. Because if it's complete, they get 7 yards. Great, you get 7 yards. But you also are going to either have to let the clock get down to about 10 seconds to go in the half, or you're calling your last time out and leaving yourself about 20 seconds. Neither are, maybe 18 seconds. Neither are a great alternative. So you're not loving this if you're the Browns. You're just not like, it's just not the play you want. Okay, this is zone coverage, right? Excuse me, this is man coverage. But you're going to see right here, Devontae Harris against Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's going to look like zone for a second. Just watch Devontae Harris. Watch this matchup. Look how his hips are angled. His hips are angled to the sideline. Right? This looks like zone, right? Look at Marcus Peters. His hips are angled to the sideline. Talked a little bit about inside-outside leverage. Let's discuss more about what that means right now. Let's head to the blackboard. I should totally get some like fancy music or like dramatic sound effects or something when I say that. But if we're going to draw, I have to get to drawing mode, and we'll actually make it arrow mode just to make everything look nice. If these are the sidelines, and let's get a different color for X and X, and I'm going to need more colors. Let me go, oops, let's undo that, and we can actually use the circle button here. You know what, I want to do inside leverage one and outside leverage the other. So outside and inside. Okay. So let me get another color here. And let's do a green. I don't know why I just made a big circle happen. But you couldn't even see it was on my other screen. Right here, this is outside leverage. What this allows is it's going to allow the receiver to release inside. And what this is an effort for is to protect the sideline. He's trying to not let the receiver get out of bounds. Right here, this is inside leverage. He is letting the receiver have an advantage to the outside. He doesn't want to give up the middle of the field. And there are different times he would do different things. Now, if we would go and do... and I know this is in the middle of the field, so just ignore that part of the example. But the defender has the option... Okay, I need to draw another line here because this won't work otherwise. New sideline. Sideline's right here now. The defender is going to have the option of allowing the and so like on a go route, when the receiver's trying to get down the field, he wants outside release. If he wants to run a post, he probably wants inside release. A slant, you technically want inside. Out, you're probably going to want outside release, although I kind of drew that inside release. Drag, you definitely want inside release, right? So it depends on the route if you want inside or outside release, and it depends on the situation. If it's a 2-minute drive, yeah, you want outside, and you're running the defender does not want to give up the outside here. So that's what Marcus Peters and Devontae Harris are doing on this play. They are doing everything in their everything they can to make sure that the receiver cannot get out of bounds and stop the clock. They want to force Cleveland to use timeouts. And I'll be honest, Devontae Harris does not do a good job of it. If you'll take a look here, now that we head back to the field of play, I mean, look how much he plays outside leverage, but then he lets Peoples-Jones just cut to the outside on him, versus Peters does a bit of a better job on the against the post there. Okay, that's pretty much it for this play. So let's watch it one more time before moving on. Browns, I mean, you've got 20. You're gonna after this play. Lucky, like I said, that it's incomplete. You're now going to be in a second down and 10. 20 seconds to work with. You still got a little bit of time, right? You still can try to do something. You want at least a field goal, and right now the ball is at their own 43. I would say you probably want a good 15 yards before you want to try a 59-yard field goal at the minimum. Mayfield, here we go, next play. Looking to throw in a screen pass. What do the Ravens love to do? They love to blitz. How do you beat the blitz? You throw the screen, while the Ravens, they show 7. They only bring 5. So this looks like a great play call until everyone drops out. And you know what? Not everyone is fooled, especially not Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters reads this play perfectly and gets there to break it up. It's more than that, though. So, like I said, the Ravens showing 7. Look how many guys they've got here. Truck clock, if you go up another second, he's gonna be one of the guys that comes. Okay, so who's gonna drop? Bowser and Judon, the two Sam linebackers. Those two guys are dropping. Everyone else is gonna come, and they're gonna. And this is a screenplay all the way. But before the screenplay, let's take a look at these routes. Pretty much just vertical. This is designed screen all the way. This is something I've been seeing from the Kevin Stefanski offense throughout this game, and I am loving it. What is everyone going to do? And green's going to be a bad idea, right? Yeah. I will get rid of green. We'll go back to blue. Everyone's going to run down the field. What does that do? Well, it's going to create a box underneath of... Oh, that was a really bad box. Let's try this again. It's going to create a box underneath where the receivers are all there in front blocking, and just a lot of room to work with on a screenplay. This is something I really like about the Kevin Stefanski screen game, and I think more teams should incorporate this. They're going to now. It's not going to work on this play for a couple of reasons. The screenplay does not work for a couple of reasons. First off, let's take a look at just the pressure. Chris Board's going to pretty much come free. Joel Batonio is going to get a hand on him. And actually, ooh, look at this job by Batonio. He's just going to let Board go all the way outside. So I say he comes free. He does a very good job. Batonio does a nice job there. Derek Wolfe, he's going to fall down as J.C. Treader and Wyatt Teller and Batonio, they're all going to try to get out in front to block. Yannick Ngakwe kind of sees it, tries to get out there with them. Not much happening. Ngakwe, they're running a stunt here. Watch Ngakwe and then Jihad Ward. Jihad Ward is going to cross over, but neither of it really works just because it is a screenplay. The one guy who's going to get some pressure on the screen is going to be the safety. Chuck Clark was coming on the blitz. He's going to go around the left edge. He sees what's happening. Mayfield, first off, Mayfield probably doesn't want to throw this ball just yet, but he has to because Clark is getting down there. Oh, look how close Chuck Clark is to getting a hand on that ball. Kareem Hunt's going to make the play. Now let's switch to this view because Marcus Peters working against... Look, okay, we talked about Peters being a gambler. I can't tell right now who he's working against. Now I can. Rashard Higgins. Look at Peters. Sneaks a look back at the quarterback. Here's what he sees. He sees Kareem Hunt open in space. He sees what they're doing, and he is going to head in and blow this play up. Because if he's looking at his receiver, then Kareem Hunt's going to make this catch. He's going to get outside, and he's got a lot of room to run. He at least gets 8 yards. And the Browns probably called their last timeout, trying to get 5 yards on a speed out, and then try to kick a field goal. Yeah, he might get more than 8 yards though. Because if he's not Peters isn't looking, then there's a block. Higgins is there as a blocker. But Peters looks. He comes back to the football, and he just takes Kareem Hunt down. And Kareem Hunt actually does a good job fighting and gets a yard out of this. And Cleveland will call the third timeout after this play. 8 yards after the catch here by Kareem Hunt. He catches this one so far back in the backfield. But you know what? It happens. One more thing I'd like to watch John Ward here working against Jack Conklin. What a bull rush, just pushing Conklin back into the backfield. Browns, what do you do against the blitz? Like I said, you got to throw the screen. That's what they tried to do here. And they happen to throw at the one guy who's looking at the quarterback. None of the other cornerbacks looking at the quarterback. Well, Marcus Peters was. That's how he works. And it pays off here for the Ravens. Browns, 8 yards after the catch by Kareem Hunt, only 1 yard of yardage gained. And that'll put the Browns into a 3rd down and 9. 11 seconds to go out of timeouts. What do? Hail Mary time. Say your prayers if you're Baker Mayfield. Ball to your own 44-yard line. Back to the right. Look, no one's coming in. No one's coming in. Here you go. Heave the ball down the field. Ooh, look out there. Chuck Clark almost intercepting that, running right into that foam padding on the goalpost. And the half is over. No one's coming in here. Mayfield saying, get down the field, get down the field. No one's down the field, though. Only one guy's in the end zone when this ball reaches the end zone. Now, Landry and Higgins, they're pursuing. We'll take a look at that part. That, to me, doesn't make much sense. Okay, before that, it's 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Ravens in the dime. Now, look at 2 things right here. Number 1. Matthew Judon. Number 2, Tyus Bowser. They're the those Sam linebackers. But look where they're lined up. Because here's what some teams will try to do in this situation. They're going to try to run a speed out or something like that. And what these guys are trying to do is make the tackle inbounds and not let the guy get out. I mean, this is the extreme case of outside leverage. You see teams do this in like 2-minute situations sometimes. Okay, so there's only really one down lineman right here. Take a step back. Wolf, the down lineman. Patrick Queen's kind of standing here also. His job is just going to be to take Kareem Hunt. And Derek Wolf's just standing there saying, okay, Baker, you're not going to run this ball. I think we're settled on that. You see, he's just kind of playing a quarterback spy here. And Mayfield launches this ball. A 72-yard throw. Very impressive throw by Baker Mayfield. And everyone's just, so you got 3 receivers left, 1 right. Everyone's just going to run. Not really run down the field, though. I don't get it. This is the part I don't get. What are they thinking? Because only Peoples-Jones runs straight down the field. He's going to run he runs a speed out here, actually. Higgins tries to run a speed out. He's going to run a quick play underneath. And Mayfield is saying, sees, okay, there's nothing on the speed out. At this point, all I've got left is a Hail Mary opportunity. Mayfield, by the way, has got to get rid of this ball quicker. I mean, so that they get it in one more play, one more Hail Mary opportunity. I mean, that's an issue on Baker Mayfield here. He waits a long time, saying, okay, get down the field. Look at Peoples-Jones. He's the only one deep. At this point, Ravens got 2 guys there. And Mayfield's just going to, you just throw this ball as far as you can. And Chuck Clark, what a job. Look at, Mayfield's going to release this ball here. Chuck Clark's at the 17-yard line, outside the right numbers. He is going to go, and he's going to really get a hand on this ball. He's going to try to get a hand on this ball. He's going to run all the way down from the 17-yard line, 27 yards vertical distance, runs across probably at least 15, I'd say at least 15 to 20 yards to the left. Now, if you want to do some quick math here, I don't know why you would, but if you would, and you're going to say at the release point, the ball, here's the release point, there's Chuck Clark right there. He's going to run, I don't even know why I'm doing this, 17 yards this way, and let's say 15 this way, so 1, 7, 1, 5. What do you see? Actually, this line should really be over here. You got this. So how far did he run? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Pull up a calculator. 17 times 17. I was not even planning on doing this. Plus 15 times 15 is 514. And the square root of 514, running 22 yards. Actually, I should have known that. 17 and 15. Isn't that like, I feel like that's a perfect square or something. Or that's one of the famous Pythagorean theorems or something like that. I should probably have been able to remember that. So that's what's going to happen on this play. 72-yard throw. Overthrows everyone. If he throws it a little shallow, I'm telling you, Chuck Clark picks it off and then tries to run it back right here. And to be honest, let's just say he catches this ball right here. Let's just say he's going to take off right here. Let me get everything off the screen, actually. Let's make this a little bigger. He's going to go here. He's got a couple of blockers in front. Here's going to be the issue. The issue is you've got 5 offensive linemen still down there and only 1 guy in front of you to block. It won't be easy. I don't think he makes it, but he'll definitely give it a shot. All right, a couple more notes on this play. Non-mathematical notes. Everyone's going to get a free release. Everyone pretty much gets a free release here except Jarvis Landry. Humphrey's just going to press him, stay close to him. Board's kind of close to Harrison Bryant. Let's watch this one last time. A toss-up, a 72-yard toss-up to end the first half. Midfield waiting to toss this one deep, 72 yards. And Chuck Clark is okay after he runs into the padding. There, gets back up on his feet. And we'll take a look at some first half stats right after we watch this play one last time. QB spy is Wolf, just staying with Mayfield. Launching it deep. Great effort by Chuck Clark, running 22 yards, mathematically proven, obviously. As we will head back. A little bit about some of the first half stats. Ravens and Browns time of possession, 2 teams that the 2 top 2 rushing attacks in the league. Well, they both like to win time of possession, and Browns win it by about 40 seconds, 15-21 to 14-39. Throw down so a couple things right now. The Browns get 1 more first down than the Ravens, 14-13. 5 touchdowns in the first half, all of them rushing, 2 by Lamar Jackson, 2 by Nick Chubb, and 1 by Gus Edwards. the Ravens gave up 4 first downs by penalty. Can't do that. Third down efficiency, though. Ravens 3 of 5. Browns only 2 of 7. That's not going to work there. Ravens 27 offensive plays. Browns have 35. Ravens outrushing the Browns 134 to 55. Browns outpassing the Ravens 146 to 31. Both teams perfect in the red zone. Ravens 3 of 3 in red zone opportunities to touchdowns, and Browns 2 opportunities, 2 touchdowns. Browns fumbling fumbling 3 times, did not lose any of them. Lamar Jackson, 6 of 7 passing. Lamar Jackson, 3 of 6 passing for 53 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Baker Mayfield, 12 of 23, for 134 yards. Lamar Jackson sacked 4 times in the first half. A couple of those were when he slipped. Baker Mayfield, not sacked at all. That's not what the Ravens want. They want to get to Baker Mayfield just a little bit more. Lamar Jackson, the leading rusher in the game with 7 carries, 78 yards. J.K. Dobbins, the Ravens' next best rusher, 6 for 33. Nick Chubb, 9 for 44. So Mark Andrews and Willie Snead combined 3 of the 6 targets. Only 1 reception, though. Between the 2 of them, that's got to change. Ravens got to be starting to utilize Lamar Jackson's top targets. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 2 targets for 44 yards. Njoku, 2 targets for 31. And 4 targets, I should say, 2 receptions for 44 for Peoples-Jones, 2 for 2, and 31 yards for Njoku. Kareem Hunt, 2 targets, 11 yards. 3 targets, 2 receptions, 11 yards. A bunch of those on the screen. And from a defensive standpoint, Marcus Peters and Carl Joseph, the leading tacklers, 4 tackles apiece. Olivier Vernon, a great first half, 2 sacks. Sione Takitaki, he had a sack, and Sheldon Richardson had that last sack in the first half. A first half, that was all about the rushing attack. A first half that the Browns tried to use a lot of screens, a lot of naked bootlegs. Down at the half are the Cleveland Browns. The Ravens got the ball to start the second half when we get back in episode 12 of the Ravens-Browns Week 14 Deep Dive Breakdown. If you've not checked out the rest of the first 10 episodes of this series, highly suggest doing that. And as well as checking out the rest of my content on Sportscaster, sportscastr.com, username YosefM613. Check out my podcast, Sports with Yosef. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That is Sports with Yosef. Check out all of the episodes there. Check out all of my articles, tackler.com, flurrysports.org, Rocky and Meisty, Sportscaster News. It's a lot of sites to keep track of. I know it, so I made it easy for you by creating a website, yosefm613.com. where you can subscribe and get email updates every time I post new content, including when I upload new videos in the series. So right there, really easy for you to take advantage of. In fact, you have no excuse to not take advantage of it. And if you're on Twitter, please give me a follow at YosefM613, at YosefM613, no .com on there. YOSEFM613. All right, Ravens up on top of the Browns, 21-14 at the half. It's been a shootout. It's been a rushing showdown. It's been a lot of fun through the first half in Cleveland. Second half coming up next. It's Ravens ball. When we get back, thanks for watching. I'm Yosef Center. I'll see you next time.